of hair cutting. Overdirection allows us to decide what shape we are creating. For example, a round shape is shorter in the front, becoming longer towards the back. So our overdirection is going to be in a forwards motion. A square shape, however, is going to create corners and also will not follow the natural curve of the head. Therefore, the hair has to be pulled both forward and backwards to allow corners to be developed. A triangular shape is shorter in the back and longer towards the front, so the overdirection is going to be backwards in some capacity. The more you overdirect, the more extreme the shape is going to look. The less you overdirect, the less obvious it's going to look. Overdirection really allows us to design. And that's the big thing when I'm thinking about hair cutting. How much overdirection I use is really something that I like to develop for that person in the chair. Overdirection controls what shape we are using, whereas elevation actually decides what technique we are using. For example, if we are not elevating the hair at all, we are going to be working with the technique of a line. It will be as close to 0 degrees as possible, but sometimes if we do cut a line through our fingers, there will be a tiny element, maybe 1 or 2 degrees of elevation. Elevation can also be used between 1 and 89 degrees to create graduation, and this is going to show more as a build-up of weight. And then finally, we can also use elevation at 90 degrees from the head and higher to remove weight, and this would work with the technique of layering. Tension. Tension is basically the amount of stress that we place on the hair. And we know that it's very important in certain areas of the head to loosen our tension. If we use the same tension all the way through our haircut, we are not allowing for any jumps in the hairline, any problems around the ear area, or possibly in the crown. So the main areas that I really think about loosening my tension are, for example, if I'm doing a line, I always want to tap around the ear and loosen the area around the ear. This will stop me from getting a hole after the blow dry. I will also be very careful to loosen my tension over the crown, particularly if I'm doing something really precise, like a line or a graduation, something like that. I'm also going to really loosen my tension around the front hairline, particularly if I'm doing a bang or a fringe type of look in the front. Other areas that I really want to concern myself about and loosen my tension is also in the nape. So the bottom hairline, if it's very jumpy, sometimes in my sections, I will loosen that very first tension at the bottom of my section.